Let's see, but I think on paper, Medusa should have a great time this game.
In the lane, I suppose so, but you were saying that one of the critiques is that they don't have reliable stun. You're like, oh, Mars, once he gets the Yules, then you'll be able to stun the Storm Spirit. Who's going to stop Storm Spirit from moving around this game?
Nobody.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Let's see if Miracle can make this game 3 happen for Nigma, or if OG are going to be able to progress forward, and we're going to get Hassan Bowl when they go up against Quincy Crew. Winner takes all, loser eliminated. Cap and Kyle, it's all yours.
Prepare for
So while our panelists are still there, I'll go ahead and address something. I'm not sure if they ever cleared it up, but yes, Mars Spear does hit illusions. Totally right about that. That's why you do get the shard, because you want to be able to hit multiple targets so you have a better chance.
Are you guys gonna play the game?
They did do an excellent job calling out 5 position Mars. Kyle, what do you think about that?
I like it. We saw that the Archer strat was very effective in the previous game, only getting the Hoodwink and the Medusa, but now they have a spear thrower as well, so should fit nicely into the composition.
See, I thought you were going to say that the best way to be able to go with an arrow strategy is naturally have some fortifications that you can play around, particularly if you have the high ground. You know, you fire down some arrows from your castle. That's kind of what the arena is. I thought that was neat.
I mean, it could work too. We'll have to see the strategy, whether or not he wants to build the wall or fire from behind it. I like the Wyvern second pick, and I understand the Miracle Invoker. It's been tried and true, but it did get a little solved the previous game, and this time OG did have that early save mechanic come out. The Shadow Demon as the counteract to the initiation. Notably, it is a carry axe, so ILTW is going to be the man to watch. You can do some really cool stuff with Wyvern Axe. You can do ancient stacks even without a Vanguard. You just hold Embrace underneath. You still spin. It's very effective.
Yeah, that was something that I feel like you guys were the ones who pioneered that. Yeah,
funny you bring that up,
complexity, running around 4 and 3 position Axe Wyvern.
Yes, indeed we did. That was the tiebreaker against Fnatic at Epicenter 2016. You know, back in my day, we pulled out our pocket strats for the wild card tournament tiebreaker. You know, we didn't really plan on making it all the way to the finals to get a shot, so had to pull out the big guns early.
Ooh, you gotta watch out for that Whirling Death, man. Yeah, this Timbersaw facing up against 2 strength heroes. I feel like that is a bit of a problem for Nigma. That Timbersaw could absolutely ruin everything.
Yeah, but I like the Wyvern second pick just because it provides counter initiation. I think that's been the key for both of these games, where the Oracle of No Tail just kind of secures the win for OG previously. Yeah, sure, they were ahead, but you saw Thompson did get caught. He just didn't die, didn't even get threatened because No Tail was just casting W, then healing him up. Like, that's the secret, it feels like so far. So now both teams with that save mechanic, will be a lot harder for either side to find the fortuitous initiation.
What do you think he went Caustic Finale level 1 on mind controls? He now has Burrow Strike level 2, turns around, stuns up No Tail, but he's got to be careful because Nail. And it has a free situation where he's just throwing out constant hits.
Yeah, it's definitely better suited to pressuring melee heroes.
No,
Maybe they thought they'd be able to, because it's a little weird when GH starts with the Bassi, right? So you would have assumed, okay, that's because Mind Control is going to be casting stun right off the bat.
Yeah, or even like just getting Sandstorm and being able to dodge Medusa hits in situation. Goes through the big tree. It's not, technically those things aren't actually fears. Mind Control is going to live once again, but again and again and again, he's forced out of lane and not happy situation. I mean, if this lane isn't going well and Timbersaw is up against 2 strength heroes top, I imagine Zeb is going to be able to win. Currently, Axe.
Other person doing okay, and this is what we saw at the major as well, right? Because you can't pressure a safe lane Axe. He's just going to spin, push creep waves into you and spam Battle Hunger, and eventually they just trade farm, but eventually LTW, he'll have a Vanguard, and then he just doesn't die. So the matchup that I'm curious about, mid, is going much better for Miracle. 17-3 versus 13-2. He was absolutely dumpstered in the previous game. So this is just a better matchup, I suppose. You can actually shove the wave, which is what you have to be able to do against Hoodwink, otherwise you're just gonna get traded to death. Nice.
Oh, the bushwhack barely grabs him, and Kuro should be dying here as there's nowhere really to run to. Thompson finishes him off with an acorn shot to get first blood.
Bottom lane is, oh my, I didn't realize 3. This is a disaster.
They're gonna have to do some creep pulling shenanigans. Maybe this is why he got Caustic Finale. They were planning on doing this a lot earlier, but
I think it's Caustic.
For whatever reason.
It's not a bad build. I'm a believer in Caustic. I think Sand King should be skilling it more often, but not into Medusa.
Yeah,
like
not
of all
against
the
range
heroes,
cores, right?
Not just range cores that can push the lane for free.
Thompson accidentally using the acorn shot on Miracle rather than dropping the tree. They are going to be able to get the disruption. No abilities are up for Thompson, though, so he's going to run away. Acorn shot is back up, though, and the Shadow Poison is there. Miracle, they're going to finish him off with this Acorn. It pops, and now GH is going to try and get the rebuttal kill on Soxa, but he doesn't have enough damage unless this Splinter Blast. Oh, barely enough. He hits it.
GH. Thompson's going to swipe the other water rune. I love these water runes. It's so... The mid matchup... Yeah, it's unlosable, but Ben, when you get ahead in the lane and you just grab a couple of water runes, this feels so good. You can immediately make a move towards top, but went mid instead.
Just pure damage of ILTW is actually doing a good amount of work against Timbersaw. I thought this would be better for Timber than it actually is, but he's having a hard time running down. They actually are going to be able to get the kill. ILTW gets a spin off just at the right time. Stacks up the Shadow Poison are going up, and even at 5 stack, it's not going to be a kill the act. A little bit low.
I mean, it's kind of cool that when you get your stat loss debuff from the Timbersaw, it actually makes the Ring of Health more effective because you have a lower health pool to regen into. And Timber, very much an attrition hero, and very tough to do that with all the regen LTW's got built in. MC, he is just flirting with disaster.
Raindrop's already been used. The spear does its full amount of damage, but not quite a kill. Kuro spotting out this stack that's going on, but again, maybe Thompson's going to rotate over. Meanwhile, LTW, low HP earlier from the Shadow Poison, doesn't respect the Timbersaw enough. Kuro does get caught. They're going to send up Disruption into a Sharpshooter. Well, Soxa takes the last hit, but Miracle is going to be able to turn things back around. Support for support. Bottom lane, Mind Control going to be saved by the Cold Embrace ever so barely. SumaiL left with no mana, hardly any health.
The Timber, Seb wasn't level 6 when he killed.
He just walked at him and probably whirling death in twice. Probably just kept running at him. SumaiL, oh, he was greedy and coming back to lane like that. Mind Control's going to punish that greed. Managed to stay alive. Soxa coming back in though. Mind Control, if he shows up at the wrong time. Oh no, a missed burrow strike directly into the Shadow Poison. He immediately dies. GH. If Soxa can land the rest of these Shadow Poisons, he read that GH was going to try for the juke, but was slightly off the mark twice in a row. Last one. He's managed to land, but 3 hits is not enough. Thompson going for a shot, but Miracle not going to be hit by the sharpshooter. That would have killed him.
Very interesting plays, Cap. Nigma just getting a bit greedy down bottom.
Dire's middle tower is under
killing
attack.
Medusa is ideal, but I don't know if you want to risk your life for a support. Seb, once again, having a nice performance. Top net worth, and this is the sort of Timber game you'll love to see. You're pushing tier 1 with the first catapult. You're going to shove down the wave, and now you can pretty much go anywhere, do anything. Fears nothing. So maybe an Orchid on Storm would threaten him, but that's a ways away.
Seriously, what a turnaround from like him dying and then coming back to lane and killing ILTW. He just owned the lane from there on out. Now he's a whole level of experience ahead of the carry of Nigma. Nobody can really challenge him until Storm Spirit. I don't know. Is Storm gonna get like Orchid in this game?
I'm not sure. Like, how I have no idea how he killed ILT, because I saw ILTW salving.
Radiant
so he was
scanning.
full HP. He just got clicked to it. You're right. The Orb of Venom. That must have done it.
Radiant's middle tower
really
is
nice
under
pickup.
attack.
Whirling Death and keeps following him. Okay. They're gonna disruption, but the timing is a little off. Either way, I think Miracle lives through that. Sharpshooter doesn't do that much damage.
Yeah, there's a big disparity. It's just the offlaners. You know, the Sand King doesn't feel like a real hero at the moment, and you know, EU definitely deserve a bit of criticism, but they should not try to copy NA Dota when it comes to the offlane Sand King. It doesn't work for anybody, except half the time for EG. And MC really feeling the pain of this lane.
Are you talking about a build, or are you talking about just in general?
In general, offlane Sand King. It just it just never really feels good. And MC, oh, if you could get a stun epi. SumaiL, Mighty Senses, nice TP out.
Yeah, they after that kill on No Tail, they'd revealed the Arcane Rune, and then Storm Spirit just didn't show anywhere on map, and the risk is not worth it anymore. I've got plenty to do in the triangle. After all, they stacked up a whole lot more.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Probably,
attack.
you can see that graph actually, the difference. So I'm going to assume the Shadow Demon is able to stay ahead, but only by one camp. Axe and Winter Wyvern actually doing a good job of stacking themselves.
It's a really smart move from OG. You know, there's no reason. Hang on.
Percentage-based damage onto an Undying is not enough. And Seb, a little bit low on mana, but does have enough to be able to get at least one or
Radiant's
two Timber
bottom
Chains.
tower is under
Miracle
attack.
CP is going to be wasted.
So it's a really nice move just to abandon bot. And a lot of times you'll get this temptation when you're owning an offlaner. You want to stay there. You want to keep crushing him, right? Sand King is an active hero. He has to be involved in fights. And now you've left him in the dead lane. Sure, he'll recover. But if you look, OG now populating the entire top half of the map. So they're still farming 2 waves. And Medusa just rotates to farming Ancients. Mind Control, sure, he's getting farm. But his hero is the only killer on the side of Team Nigma. So you don't really care about net worth on his side. If he's showing in lane, it means he's not killing heroes. Your Medusa's completely unthreatened, and you'll be able to start eking out a pretty sizable net worth lead.
You don't think it's worth it for even like one of the supports to go bottom lane and collect some of the experience that is just being given away?
It's just Seb, and this is a nice move as well, because this allows him to then leave the wave top that was coming into tower for his Medusa, and he'll now go and just be the bait. Because look, you're right, you don't want to just give totally free lanes away if you can help it, but this is now a Timber Saw with a hood. So if you really want to make a move down here as Team Nigma, you're going to need to bring at least 4 heroes.
And this is something that we've seen from so many Timber Saws when they win the lane. It was a problem from last game. Timber Saw wins his lane, and then he takes that opposing safe lane tower. He can save his own safe lane tower by just kind of parking himself there, as you said, because he could, because he has a raindrop. He is super tanky, very hard to kill. And OG could always, if they wanted to, counter-rotate Timber Saw. OG, as a result of that one tower lead, they're up by a small amount of damage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The Thompson going for a different build. No Maelstrom, just rushing the Aghanims. Banking, I believe, on SumaiL as the hard carry. Also can be afforded more of this high spell damage kind of assassin style, because his Timber Saw will also scale pretty well. No Tail, he is a support, but he has Arena ready.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You gotta be cautious about the Tombstone.
The Boomerang, it increases spell damage, not magic damage, so it means Timber Saw will actually do a lot, even though a lot of it so they're going to be able to cutting down the tree, but it still doesn't matter. That's going to be enough to be able to kill the Undying. They throughout the arena, they do have the Mars getting a little bit low, but at the same time, Miracle's looking to be able to kill Soxa. Disruption bought a little bit of time, but eventually dies. ILTW looking for the chop. That's managed to get it onto No Tail. Uses that movement speed to try and run away. Once again, the Choco cutting down the tree. The Thompson was looking to be able to connect with a bushwhack. Now he's going to be pulled back, but they got to be careful of this double damage. Miracle's low on mana. Miracle is going to get run down. Miracle totally underestimated either his damage or Thompson.
He just underestimated. He had no mana cap. If he's a full mana Storm, sure, that's a great play, but he goes in not realizing, like, there's no Wyvern Curse anymore. LCW's not in range. There's just no damage there. Adding insult to injury. Now this is what I was waiting for, Cap. The voice lines. OG have been very silent for the last couple, for all of last season and so far this tournament, but coming alive even after a lost fight. But this is still what you kind of want to see from them. One fight rather.
Game 3 with elimination on the line with TI qualifiers within spitting distance here. Thompson is going to be caught behind the Burrow Strike epicenter. No tail tries to create some space for him, but only does more harm than good as the Splinter Blast helps to kill Thompson. No tail being run down by ILTW right now. That is going to whiff. Steph running some interception here. At the same time, no tail does manage long jump over to be able to finish off that support. SumaiL is here, but Winter's Curse is going to be able to stop his damage. Mind control resetting up. Burrow Strike beautifully done by Nigma as we respond to OG's aggression with a bit of moves from their own. Now looking to be able to run down Soxa next as Miracle has just enough mana to put a few more hits of damage on him. Doing ILTW, not even needing the calling play. GH keeping himself alive with Cold Embrace. Meanwhile, he get away. Seb's got the mana. He can go for a TP out with a Chakram pullback and one punch. Enough for Seb. Claims a double kill. Back over to Miracle. What? Mana.
He's still here.
Getting out of here. He tried to TP and got caught. Thompson hit him with a bushwhack to stop his TP. Well played.
Well played indeed. And I honestly can't believe that fight went so well for Team Nigma. They had no tombstone. It had been dropped on the high ground. The zip from so far from Miracle, and yet they just have the damage. Credit to Mind Control. You know, he had an awful start to this game, but he's got a Blink Dagger. And excellent curse follows up with the secondary stun from MC as Timber Saw doing some significant deforestation. Will not want to fight in that area anytime soon.
Under attack.
Yeah, needs out of mana now. Thompson, nice use of the sharpshooter to get himself over the cliff there. He had tried to go around that hump and down the ramp. He likely would have died and may still die. In fact, Kuro's going to be able to hit that one punch that slows him down so much. Wonderful positioning of the arena here, locking out two heroes and spinning in. Mind control through the walls, but Miracle's still able to catch up. Not quite enough as he starts to try to roll first. Disruption can top him away. No, denied by the Burrow Strike. Mind control, he will top him his life from Miracle. Running a bit low on mana. He needs to be able to jump away. He's got the purge on him. Does he have enough HP to be able to survive? TP out, they get speed a little bit more. The spear runs him over. No tail with the big moves on the high position Mars. He's helping OG win this game.
This is making Mars 5 look viable, Cap, because it's just the spells. Now, who cares about his farm? What an arena. And yet, isn't effective the entire time, but that curse placement, unfortunate. You saw it actually save Thompson for a time, so they had to wait. It was about a couple of seconds where Team Nigma, they weren't actually looking for extra heroes. They were just camping Thompson. We're going to see it run back real quick. So first, the incredible arena to keep Thompson alive for just an extra couple of moments. And you're going to see in just a moment, Thompson, he's going to die. He is dead here. And then the curse pulls him in. ILTW checks, doesn't have the damage to get the immediate execution from the Culling Blade. So instead, the fight turns against him. And SumaiL now, very farmed. Unfortunate for Miracle, he's had a couple really nice team fights, but he's dying at the end of them. So his net worth really struggling.
Also, I saw ILTW use the Culling Blade on Thompson, but I'm not sure if it's because it was level 1 Culling Blade at the time. Because if it was level 2, it should definitely have killed him. Can you not kill people with Culling Blade under Winter's Curse and Vulnerability?
No, you can. I think he canceled it.
Really?
I just don't. Yeah, because I believe it was still level 1 at the time. If it was level 2, then yeah, you're right. You just kill him, right?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Axe kills through everything.
Really weird. I swear to God, I thought I saw him pull the trigger on that. Because then I thought
under attack.
Keeping out. Oh, it's not good enough. The Culling Blade catches him out. Soxa got to be run down by the epicenter as well. The 2 supports on OG do die, but the cores
Radiant's
still
bottom
happily
tower is under
away,
attack.
not really being interrupted one bit. And we're gonna see that again. Culling Blade, 265.
No, he's level
Radiant's
11.
bottom
He's
tower
level 11,
has
Cap.
fallen.
Sweet,
So
that's
it's
pass.
250 for the insta-kill. Unfortunately, I thought he canceled it, but he actually just uses it, even though Thompson, maybe just not recognizing he'd been cursed, expecting a little extra damage would have been tapped in, but big issue for Nigma right now is they have no method of reducing healing or regen. And Seb is doubling down on that. He went Hood, now right into Sanj, Kaya to follow, and they can't reduce his healing. So until somebody grabs a vessel on the side of Team Nigma, they're gonna have some serious issues. And Mind Control, I thought he'd be going for it. No, he's rushing BKB. Holy Locket on GH. I think that is the right move, but somebody just needs a vessel.
BKB, first item Sand King. That's a second item after the flame. Still, that's like kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I'll tell you how to feel, Cap. Unsure.
Well, at least he guarantees he gets off his epicenter. There's always that. Aghanim Scepter is going to be built for our Medusa, and level 15, so still a while before we see level 20 talent. Boomerang is complete for the Hoodwink, so look for that increased nuke. A bit of status resistance removed, as well as increasing spell damage.
They do have the Manta, though, on ILTW, so the lanes will start to be pressured. OG make the smoke. Would love a fight to a Roche opportunity, but Roche should know. You got to be careful fighting into a high ground tombstone. It's the one fear for OG. Seb is immortal, though, so yeah, just dive right in.
That's kind of what he's doing right now. His smoke breaks, but he's being a bit fearless. And apparently just running around in circles. I'm seeing his map icon just run around in circles. I was like, is he Yules? No, that's just Seb having a little bit of fun. And kind of haunting, trying to bait Nigma to go on to him.
Radiant
but they're not taking that.
The thing, I mean, the pure damage from Axe spins post shard could be a threat. Hang on.
They do manage to get initiation onto the Mars. That is a much better pickoff for Nigma. Kaya and the Sanj completed for Seb, making him even harder to deal with, and also amplifying his spell damage, which we already had the Boomerang there as well. I think it's actually going to turn into a legit semi-carry when it comes to the damage of this combo.
No, he's nuts right now, and I didn't realize. I for some reason had thought Boomerang from the Aghanims on Hoodwink was a magic damage, but yeah, spell damage. That is very significant. Does anything else do that with the exception of Veil and I guess like Bloodseeker?
Something I can immediately think. There's always something. Mind Control. To run and hide away from Seb, who's just kind of a terror right now. 9,000 net worth lead for OG as they go for a 3-man smoke up behind Seb and his aggressive posturing. They have the Aghanim Scepter done on the Medusa. This is why they're either going to find a pickoff and do Roshan, and if the pickoff doesn't present itself, then they're trying for Roshan by itself. But Nigma are wise to this maneuver. A 4-man smoke from them. Going to go around Seb's Timbersaw. ILTW with the smoke breaking. Doesn't immediately jump forward. Ken jumps down. He doesn't catch anything. Garena going out. A beautiful force right here from Mind Control. Played so much. Bushwhack catching Miracle, but he's still going to be okay. Jumps on the side, though. It's not going to be good enough. The Tombstone being dealt with during that Stone Gate. Still trying to break the Shadow Demon, but Miracle has used everything he has to be able to get that kill. And now the rest of OG have to be able to operate without that hero playing out. ILTW being chased down by Seb. Boomerang on him. Look for the damage from Seb. As soon as they get going back in to try and kill them. That is the ballsiest fucking play I've ever seen. ILTW doesn't get anything for it.
That is a man who should be playing carry axe, though, Cap. It is not for the faint of heart. I applaud the decision. To be a little quicker on the culling blade, he might have got both. And if he had his shard, Cap, that's the issue. Nigma, they need the shard on the axe. That's the timing. Yeah, he has the immediate execute, I think, on No Tail. Oh, but the snake stones him.
That Aghanim Scepter coming in very clutch for OG. And as a result, they win the fight, but they're not able to do Roshan.
It's just really crazy. You know, Medusa just so farmed. You know, SumaiL, no Midas necessary. Incredibly ahead. 300 CS approaching 23 minutes into the game.
stop touching that Midas, can you?
No. Well, I'm thankful SumaiL did. But yeah, we'll just move on. Seb,
you know, Kyle is just a dog in the bone. You know, he's never gonna let that one go. 14-16, OG looking very good for this game 3. Again, this is an elimination match for ESL1 Summer, and we also have the TI Western qualifiers are going to be coming up pretty soon, I believe. I think they're maybe the third one, so it's on the latter half of the schedule. But this is 2 of the teams that you're expecting to see in the finals, and only one of them can go to TI.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to touch that one either, Cap.
You think Liquid's going to be going through?
Well,
Mike and GG. I mean, there's a lot of good teams.
Miracle? Okay. Well,
I'm not quite sure what that was for No Tail, but a little bit of miss. Okay. But there's no real follow-up. Just in right now, and maybe he's overextended himself. They're going to jump onto him. Throw out the magic damage. Don't help for a second. Miracle. Gotta be careful with his first going down. He's going to be able to find his moves on a little bit of time to work with here. This room is out. Zombies are building up, and Seb is not finding the trees to be able to connect to right now. But SumaiL is standing and putting out the damage. Thompson, though, not able to have the same kind of survivability. They are picking apart the cores of OG right now and ignoring the Medusa. Mind control, 2-man throw strike once again. Finding these disables. Tail putting ILTW down at the low ground, but this is a one fight for Nigma. If anything, ILTW wants to be able to pursue these heroes. As once again, a 2-man throw strike from Mind control. This guy has totally disrupted anything that OG wanted to do in that fight. Just beautiful. Stun after stun after stun from
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What a
Radiant
wild fight.
structures are fortified.
Very reminiscent of the first game where somehow Team Nigma win a fight that they don't have any business even taking. Miracle starting this engagement, half HP, half mana. They're initiating on Seb, who just doesn't die. He's going to be full health almost as he comes out of it. But LTW, huge call. That's the shard time. That's where all this damage suddenly came from. And Seb, unfortunately, neither can no
Oh, sharpshooter Thompson's gonna get picked off again here. They've got the fresh orchid on Miracle. Will make it so Thompson has no way out of here. And Mind control, not very healthy, but is still looking for kills. Because he knows that Nigma with the Aegis feels good about fighting.
No Tail has won so many tournaments in so many cities. He's never had trouble finding trees, and yet this fight, 2 spears just taking people nowhere. And Seb, the Timber Chain is the damage of the combo. You get in, you get a free Q off, and suddenly Miracle with an Aegis now. This is troubling.
Back in again, the Orchid. Ooh, that Mystic Snake does a lot. Miracle doesn't need to jump out of this. The first life of the Storm Spirit may be forfeit here, but never mind. Just a beautiful Winter's Curse from GH. Allows him to be able to keep the Aegis intact.
We saw this at the Major, Cap. The Axe carry, it's a bit awkward, and you keep waiting for it to fall off. And I'm not even sure anymore if it does. Yeah,
it doesn't. I mean, it's pure
so
damage,
good,
right?
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's also the spin proc chance. Like, it goes up, not just when you're attacked, but also on your attacks. So suddenly you get, like, he just soloed the Shadow Demon at the start of that last fight. And if he can continue to find Saksa, OG are in trouble. They don't really have any save outside of it.
I mean, pure damage just always kind of scales through the game, and the fact that Axe can build attack speed to make it so the pure damage comes out even more often is we're gonna watch Saksa here die. I believe this is a dieback from him as well, because he bought back in that last team fight, so he is gonna be gone for we already lost. Miracle fighting into the Mars once again with this Orchid. He can pick apart the supports, and SumaiL, this Aghanim Scepter just doesn't really seem like the impact that he had on the Medusa before was just raw damage. But in this Aghanim's build, they're just ignoring him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pretty much. It's the right way to play it, too. Based on how these fights have gone, and if you ignore the Medusa, the rest of his team is very easy to take down. And Thompson
Dire's top tower is under
maybe
attack.
overdoing it on the meme
Radiant's
style
bottom
because the
tower
Rush
is under
Aghanim is now
attack.
into Sanj Kaya. Like, he doesn't have that same net worth staying power. And at first, I liked it when it felt
Radiant's
like Medusa was going to be
turret
able to
has
solo
been
carry this. But as you said,
Radiant's
having
top
some
tower
issues now
is under
finding damage
attack.
output. The Sheev is on Miracle is going to be huge. It's actually a bigger answer to the Timber Saw
Dyer's top
than
tower is under attack.
even
Radiant
the damage item would be
structures are fortified.
because of the limitation, 25% reduction on the regen, the healing, lifesteal, etc.
Control again. Finding an opening, finding a pickoff on No Tail. The rest of Nigma, they're very ready to fight. So anybody that gets initiated on, OG pretty much just let them die. You can see they're playing the.
So it effectively, it nearly pays for itself. Hyperstone 2,000 gold, Shard 1,400. It's almost paying for itself just based on the attack speed it gives alone.
Radiant's
Not
top
just the
tower
fact
is
that it's
under
also
attack.
increased proc chance and on
Dyer's
attack.
top tower is under attack.
Battle Hunger and the illusions are almost enough to kill Saksa. He does manage to keep you away. Smart move by him. And it does buy OG a little bit more time to be able to get that Scotty. That Scotty, which he does not have because his courier died. They're currently waiting on the ultimate orb miracle. And he's actually going to go on attack here with the orb and the burrow strike. May not be enough damage though. The spear catching him and miracle. Does see top, but Mystic Snake still alive. Those courage resetting the team fights are going to get the team showdown. And now comes the turn. Now comes the burrow strike. And they are chopping down OG members one by one, and none of them have buyback.
That was insane. The Undying, an unspoken hero,
Radiant's middle tower
the
is
smell,
under
or
attack.
rather damage amplification. Just deleting heroes with the assistance of his squad.
Seriously,
What a curse, though.
or GH,
Radiant's middle
excuse me,
tower
getting
has fallen.
these great winners versus every single time, allowing his whole team to be able to set up. Plus, he has the shard, so you saw that Splinter Blast go off. That's because he comes off of the cold embrace that he threw down, and we're going to see that a number of times here as they start sieging the high ground with an axe on front, holding the brace behind him. G, no answers. The high over here. Long range zip. The Aegis has expired, but it's just enough mana. Randy to be able to catch Thompson. The axe
All I'm going to say about this one so far is GH God. Miracle also a hell of a performance on Storm. Consider almost all of his deaths were in the initial like 10-15 minutes.
Radiant's
Like,
middle
he's
tower
been nearly
is under
perfect
attack.
since then. And even his deaths, like, he was helping his team win fights.
Gonna be able to save his support here. Never mind, his spear goes down. Mind Control is able to at least land a burrow strike, and GH will survive. Cold embracing himself. Everybody from Nigma playing around each other, making sure there are no free picks available to OG at any time.
I don't know how you stop him now, Cap. They just have way too much
Radiant's
cash.
bottom tower
OG.
is under attack.
Their support duo is pretty much all they've got. And the previous game, Thompson on the Hoodwink was able to pretty much play as he
Radiant's
wished, but this
middle tower
time
is
feeling a
under
lot of
attack.
pressure. Not safe in the trees.
As a core, it is, I think, rather easily countered
Radiant's
by
bottom tower is
handful
under
of heroes.
attack.
Heroes like Spirit Breaker, or in this case, Storm Spirit, who are able to just kind of hunt him down constantly. He's not able to play that back line the way they want to. It makes it look like an entirely different hero.
Radiant's bottom
two
tower
that we
has fallen.
And we heard from teams at the major, Medusa is a dead hero, but, you know, we do have some trouble reading or getting the messages over here in Western Europe. And we saw yesterday 2 games of Medusa, 2 losses. Today, SumaiL loses on Dusa, wins on Drow. Not much time to bring this one back.
Shiva,
On Dusa once again.
spear goes out, but Miracle missed. It goes straight for Sasha. Really, the hero is really keep him alive, but another fire spurt's going out. He's going to actually get up the save Thompson for a bit. When he comes back, though, he's just going to go straight to his man. Again, Thompson falls to start the team fight, but now looking at the myriad of damage. Pearl is about to fall here. Another mid-single chain, though, as Miracle has cleaned up the back line, finishing off Sasha. Now gets to the full back, and look at this ILTW axe go. BKB and just runs at heroes. 6 offset with a pull in the play. Next up is going to be No No-Tail slowed down by the Shivas. Miracle's got that one. Seb comes back with a buyback, trying to save SumaiL here, but he doesn't have any disables. A beautiful Mystic Snake Kill. Golden Brace going out, saving Miracle for a time, but the other two are dangerously low. Miracle needs to be able to jump away right now. Does manage to kill the Mars first before he zips away, but right into the hands of Seb, who now looks to be able to run down Kuro Nigma. They had this team fight won, but they underestimated OG as they turn around on the high ground and finish the fight.
Yeah, an absorption buyback from No-Tail. Immediately dies again, but he did get a lot of mana used by Miracle. So Seb then able to clean up. I'm gonna watch this, like,
Dire's
just
middle
really the
tower
buyback
is
coming
under
in
attack.
huge. Seb is just all of the damage. Now with a nice snake, the stone, and you're gonna watch No-Tail's appearance. He comes in, he's ready, he's about to use his spells, and then he's orchid it, and he ends up casting one. But now Miracle out of mana, and a little swing by from Seb finishes him off. So ultimately, I think 5 position, team captain, you're gonna say that's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nigma certainly learning a lesson there and respecting the Aghanim Scepter level 20 talent Medusa a little bit more. When they do finally decide to focus on her, they got to be careful of what a huge turnaround that snake can be.
Roshan will do the next big engagement. It's a lot closer than it felt like for a while, Cap. And bear in mind, a lot of the net worth, I think it was Seb himself who said that, you know, as observers, casters, we really don't know what we're talking about because we always look too much into the net worth. And most of the time I would agree, because in this case specifically, SumaiL, he is a huge soak, but even with these items, this fresh Daedalus, it still feel like his damage output is a bit limited. And Seb, even with 8-9k less net worth, is actually dealing significantly more in the team fight. But LTW is chasing, they know Seb is no buyback.
Yeah, they're gonna go for it. Always trying forward. Please hit there from Nigma. Grabbing it by LTW with the ball. He's going out of SumaiL. At the same time, Miracle got speared in. They caught him. ILTW is trying to stay on top of Thompson right now, but Thompson is going to be able to bushwhack him over to the side this time around. It's OG who win the start of the fight right away, and Nigma are the ones using the buybacks.
They just ran up the high ground with no vision, Cap.
Ha!
Nigma have got to be the most feast or famine squad. They look fantastic the whole mid game, just routing OG across the map, and that just felt like almost a panic smoke. Like mind control just blinked blindly uphill.
Yeah,
he had ran into the timber.
Strike up. Yeah, that was wild.
And Miracle went in, but as you said, caught a spear and just straight up dies. And
Dire's
buys
middle
back,
tower
sure,
is
but
under attack.
suddenly that 4K net worth lead is
Dire's
evaporated, firmly in
structures
OG's
are
control
fought.
now,
Radiant
as
are
Roshan spawn. I'm not used to seeing graphs like this in
Dire's
Dota 2,
top
Cat.
tower is under attack.
So it's all the way back to a very even game as
Dire's
OG
middle
are going to be able to get the
tower has
Aegis, so
been
probably even in their favor. We'll see how they manage to make use of both the Aegis cheese and even the shard, which for SumaiL probably feels pretty good to go have that extra. Yeah, there he goes. He's the one to grab it. Thompson gets the cheese. Daedalus complete. Satanic up next for SumaiL. He's really getting into that full-on hard carry Medusa status. Level 25 here as well. Hell, even the further levels, if he can get all the way up to level 29, 30.
I'm just happy to see him at 25, Cap. They took the critical engagement in that first game. He was 24, like 0.95. And either way he goes, it's just such an incredible power spike.
Zap immediately popping the BKB. The epicenter is going to be canceled. Their initiation is not what they wanted. As ILTW goes down, he's dead for a minute and a half now. This is an opportunity for OG to be able to take over the game while he's dead.
So far, OG, they're at a point now, you know, credit to Kuro's Undying for a great performance earlier on, but Kuro's definitely starting to fall off now. He does not have the staying power to get up close and personal, make the best use of his ultimate amplification.
Wow, he's got Aghanim Scepter on Undying?
And a shard, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, if he could stay alive in these team fights and get off multiple decays, especially now that he's got the cooldown, I was not paying attention to his net worth at all.
Pretty huge. It's still definitely anybody's game. Like, the net worth is firmly in favor of OG. They've got the edge. Like, they had an edge in the earlier portion of the game, too. Nigma still have that initiation advantage and the Wyvern potential. It's such a great combo if you can get a big curse into the taunt. Frozen to just start spamming the K on this Timber. You gotta be very careful, as said. 2.5 second CD.
That's a really good high ground defensibility right there, and sure enough, it is enough to force OG back. 10 more seconds left on ILTW. They do also now have an Aghanim Scepter for the Storm Spirit, so look for that big zip and that big AoE control. Hard on the Timbersaw, that's continuing to play kamikaze with his sheer infinite.
Miracle has no
No-Tail is not dead just yet. Winter's Curse pulling him in. Thompson, though. They want to be able to go for Miracle. Miracle throws down. He is out of mana. He is dead. Gone for 2 minutes. He just ran out of mana like that. And the rest of Nigma are going to be relatively easy to run down. Anybody who's still here, GH blinking away into the trees. He's desperately trying to cut the creep wave, which he does with both a Splinter Blast as well as Cold Embrace. But unfortunately for him, another one is on its way. They're going to have to find a way to slow this game out for another minute and a half.
Oh no, it's going to fade. It's going to fade. I thought they were going to be able to cut one more. This wave, this is it. They know for a fact there's no Miracle. He died once again hunting No-Tail, Cap. Great save. OG, they don't save their captain, but they keep him alive long enough to utilize Miracle's entire mana pool, and he's just dead.
They killed the creep wave. Backdoor protection should be coming up relatively soon. The next creep wave is on its way. Nobody's there to be able to intercept. One lane of barracks gone. Nigma.
They could go for throne.
They could go for throne, but they're choosing not to right now. No-Tail does manage to find ILTW. The carry axe is not here. Thompson's going to be able to catch up to him. ILTW popping up BKB and keeping out. This makes it even harder now for OG to go for that throne, as they don't have all their heroes here. Instead, they're just going to try and get 2 lanes of barracks, it seems. They respect the ability of Nigma to hold and defend, even without Miracle.
Sometimes I wish I didn't have to cast Cap so I could just be a chatter in Twitch, because they must be having a ton of fun with this one, just like us. And oh my god, Alcy got to be careful. The soul catcher,
the brace is going to be there, but it's back from that Winter's Curse. A Whirling Death is going to do a big amount of hurt. There goes the Bushwhack, and he's dead. A sharpshooter through to the back line. Little Wyvern, but they're going to go for Curl first. Again, he dies the Whirling Death. It is too much damage with that level 25 Talon Mind Control. I think he was trying to cut creep waves or something. He pops a BKB, but now he's slowed down to a crawl. Hold the brace again. At the same time, all this setup from OG. They do have Miracle back, and they do have 2 buybacks, but it's going to be a 4 versus 5. SumaiL's Aegis does run out. But it is looking to end the game. Divine Rapier is on its way on the courier right now.
Why'd they do that? Cap Storm was coming up soon. They'd already lost 2 racks. They were cutting waves so well. Now Throne's exposed. It's going to be a 4-on-5 fight for the game against Rapier. No curse.
Trying to hold on to ILTW's buyback. I've seen the Divine Rapier. G. Got to be careful. Eon just does the top. No-Tail throwing up a hero with the arena. Oh, there's the Miracle. SumaiL's all big. Be careful that damage is not dying anytime soon. ILTW does manage the call onto the Mars. The Rune is not being hit right now. SumaiL is just excited about he has to clear himself out of here. Now he's going to slow down. Thompson's down there. Curl, he's catching up. SumaiL's out of mana. Miracle's back and forth. He pushes over to the side. SumaiL beats the house. Winter's first being put onto him, but they do manage to cut down the inside. 2 dead. Call immediately afterwards. Medusa is almost dead. SumaiL, disruption save. He's going for the Bushwhack. A shot wins out Miracle. He's trying to stay alive, but the Divine Rapier is down, and that is it. He stays alive through all of that. Does manage to kill for the throne now. Miracle, just a happy boy thrown out, insanely disabled, but he